Hi everyone, it's lesson 21 of Destiny chart reading. A quick recap about how do we do the Destiny chart analysis. Use the day stamp as your reference point. Identify the top and bottom of the same symbol within the boxes itself. So if you see the day stamp symbol appearing at the bottom, that would actually represent the person's character in stage 1. If you see the day stamp symbol actually appearing on the top, okay, that box would actually represent the person's character in stage 2. So moving to the next steps, once you have actually spotted the stage 1 and stage 2 of a person's character, move on to look at the individual symbols and what do they represent in terms of their personality trait and their character descriptions. Sometimes even when a person moves from stage 1 to stage 2, the stage 1 character would still actually stays. Yeah, so that would actually be the basic steps to get ourselves started to do Destiny chart reading. But two unique chart that we need to take note of. One is the Fuyin chart, where we don't see a distinct difference of a person's character between a stage 1 and stage 2. High chance that this person's character will be very stable, showing us that that person is very stubborn, very self-centered. The next unique chart that if you actually happen to plot would be the Fanyin chart. Same thing, Fanyin chart also no stage 1 and stage 2, but the different thing is we see a flip-flop of their character. So into lesson 21, I think it really set us to delve a bit deeper to look into the different methods of how we're going to expand our elaborations of a person's character. So most of the time we cannot just depend mainly to read a person's character by their individual symbols, or we keep on referencing to notes. I think this, to me, I feel that if we want to really build up our strength in this area to further elaborate a person's character and explain the character traits very well, it takes a lot of experience and also a lot of the courage to really think beyond the box. Yeah, so sometimes different symbols may have certain similarities, but we must also be sharp enough to really pick up the slight difference, what we call the nuances. So like for example, if I were to use two symbols to elaborate what I meant was between open door and live door. Open door 开门 and live door 生门. When that happens to appear in the boxes of a person, both talks about this person being lively, being extrovert, yeah, but we must also be sharp enough to actually find out that there are certain slight nuances, slight difference between the two. So like for example, a person with open door, okay, they may be open to new ideas, and to them everything will be okay. They are extrovert, you know, they are lively, they like to be with people. Yeah, same thing for live door, they're also extrovert, they are also passionate, they are also energetic, they bring life to any of the social interactions out there. But a person, when happens to have a live door, they may not necessarily be open to new ideas. So I think this fine details to how we do character reading is something that it helps with time, where we slowly build up our skills with a lot of exposures and the courage to really read more into different types of charts. So one thing to note is also to remember that we don't just read the symbol by themselves or in silos, because we may not get a very correct character reading. So sometimes we may need to pull in and read the different symbols combined together within a box. So like for example, I give you an example of having a sing with wu together. Wu is a good thing because wu means got money. But when wu combines to have a sing within the box, it may not be a good thing at all because sing means mistake. Yeah, so mistake in money may actually leads to something bigger because you make mistakes in money. There could actually have possibility of involving in illegal means, and mistake in money also can mean going to jail. Yeah, so this part of the elaboration about the outcome or the consequences of having a sing and wu, which means making mistakes in money, it takes a little bit of the creativity slants in the person to really read deeper and read wider. Yeah, so for example, and we look at 天星. 天星 is actually a good thing because it talks about a person being clever, but everything would have two sides of a coin. 天星 can also mean that this person's character can be a little bit scheming. And what happens if we have a 天星 combined with a 太阴, okay, within the same box itself? Well, that may not mean that that person is quietly clever, that kind of thing. But when you have a 天星 which seem to have certain positive traits in them and combined with a 太阴, then we will see the possibility of this person to be involved in doing some illegal means. So while we are doing all the chart reading is one, but it's also important for us to consider that in any of the situations of a person, the environment is also important. So if we are able to manage or control the environment, then it is a possibility that we can actually change certain course of action. So this changing course of action would actually highly depends on the human factor, or we call the human interaction. Yeah, so this is my quick share of what I have picked up from lesson 21, where we talk about reading deeper, reading wider of a person's character traits when we do destiny chart reading. Yeah, so look out for my next video where I share something else that I have picked up and interesting for me to share with every one of you. See you.